Poetic Cinema Storytime, Cotton to Powder. Hello, my friends. My name is Vernon Snell. Thank you for spending a few moments of your day with me. Every time we meet, I invite you to slow down, to step away from the noise, to leave the headlines behind, because stories have a way of helping us understand ourselves, not by telling us what to believe, but by asking us to see differently. Tonight, I'd like to tell you a story. This one is called Cotton to Powder. We went from cotton to powder. Same hands, different product. Back then, fields, hot sun, chains, whips, no choice. Now, street corners, neon lights, little bags. Fast money, same pressure, different name. They tell us we're free, but sometimes I stop and ask myself, free to do what? Sell to each other? Destroy each other? Bury our own neighborhoods for money that disappears as fast as it arrives? That doesn't feel like freedom. It feels like somebody changed the rules but kept the game exactly the same. Cotton picked our bodies apart. Powder picked our minds apart. Different centuries, different streets, different language, but somehow the same families, the same communities, the same pain. And I know because I lived inside it. Not reading about it, not watching it on television, living it, moving weight, counting money, thinking I was winning. But winning what? Respect, fear, a reputation? Because none of those things ever came home with me at night. Only the pressure, only the paranoia, only the feeling that something inside me was slowly disappearing. But that's the thing about living inside a storm. You don't always know it's a storm. You think it's just weather. So you keep moving. One deal, one run, one day at a time, trying to survive something you don't even understand. Then one day, you finally stop long enough to look behind you, and you begin to notice the pattern. This isn't new, it's old. Repackaged, redesigned, reintroduced. The faces change, the products change, the streets change, but somehow the damage kept finding the same people. And maybe that's the hardest part to admit. When you've taken hope away from people, when you've stripped away opportunity, when you've convinced someone that survival is the highest dream they can reach, they'll grab onto almost anything that feels like power, even if that power slowly destroys them. Communities disappeared, families broke apart, children grew up without ever knowing what peace was supposed to feel like. And now I stand here not with anger, but with memory, looking back across generations, asking a question I hope we all ask together. Did we really go from cotton to powder? Or did we simply give the same struggle a different name? And if that's true, maybe the greatest freedom begins the moment we finally recognize the cycle. Because a cycle cannot be broken until it is first seen. You know, people often ask me why I write stories like this. The answer is simple, because stories reach places arguments never can. I didn't write this story to blame anyone. I didn't write it to tell you what to think. I wrote it because I believe memory matters. I believe understanding matters. And I believe that if we refuse to look honestly at yesterday, we keep repeating it tomorrow. The story you heard tonight comes from one of my Poetic Cinema collections. Every book I write is part of one living archive, an archive of testimony, of neighborhoods, of survival, of hope, of questions that deserve to be asked. If this story spoke to you, if it challenged you, if it stayed with you, then I invite you to continue the journey with me. Visit gopoeticcinemastudio.com. Explore the books, explore the stories, explore the growing archive of Poetic Cinema. Every page is another conversation, every story is another doorway. And if you believe that preserving these stories matters, if you believe voices like these should continue to be heard, I would be honored if you'd support this work. Every book you read, every story you share, every contribution no matter the size, helps keep this archive alive. Not for me alone, but for the generations who come after us. Because stories disappear when nobody protects them. And I refuse to let these stories disappear. Thank you for giving me your time. Thank you for opening your heart. I'm Vernon Snell. This is Poetic Cinema Storytime. Until next time, be kind to someone. Ask a better question. Protect your imagination. And remember, sometimes the most powerful revolution begins with a single story. I'll see you at the next story.